And so here we are, the beginning of another episode. I wonder how it's going to go. Here's your host, the Bittersweet Gamers.
I'm the Opinionator?
I'm We Squared.
So...
Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I was going to hand them out when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. Wink.
Oh.
And it was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right.
Now, obviously, we noticed that we did not get the file, but...
And we got a second announcement.
It's that second announcement, the second body discovery announcement. Was that a whim of Monokuma, or was Hifumi really not dead?
It had to have been Hifumi, because there wasn't anything weird, there wasn't any dragging or anything like that, and someone that big is gonna be dragged.
I mean, they had to use... The fact that a dolly was used for Kiyotaka is there to specifically draw attention to the fact that no such thing was used for Hifumi, who is a noticeably larger.
Stop talking. Just hand it over already. Now, make sure to investigate with all of your mental might and prepare for the class trial. This one's a doozy. Well then, now that we've found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How can you be so calm?
Because I'm a raging douchebag, my dear.
You've always been so calm. Why am I so surprised this time, except that this has kind of been the chapter where she's been cracking a lot? I mean, they're dead, you know?
That's terrible.
Dead! Gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful. This is all just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Aww.
Who would do this? Why? Why?
I mean, like we said, Hifumi really was like kind of the heart of this group. Without him around... Without him and Kiyotaka around, everything's gonna be...
Just gonna go to crap a lot quicker.
Well, way too serious. Large, wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this were some world of make-believe, that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie.
What?
Or it is.
Okay. Okay. Monokuma is effing with us.
This wasn't a...
He's alive again? Where am I?
He was never dead to begin with.
Well, it's nice to see that our first instincts were right.
Yeah.
But why the second body announcement? Was it just because Monokuma was messing with us? I even had considered opening it up to look at the file we just got.
But we can't yet.
We still can't because of this.
Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
He may not have much time left, though, if
Possibly.
he's like this.
Hifumi, wake up!
Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Oh, poor guy. We've got to do something about this, or he really will die.
I mean...
Either that or he is dying.
I mean, it's possible he wasn't attacked a second time.
If he
and
was...
he's just putting on a show.
That is possible, and I mean, I do still think that, especially like this, that he's still quite suspicious in the entire thing, and very well maybe the killer. If he is, like, sitting here like, oh, it's so cold, after there's been a body announcement, he's either been mortally wounded, or we need to get him some first aid.
Yeah!
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything.
Oh?
I see, so maybe it really is that he was mortally wounded.
Before I met you all, I met you all.
Okay.
Yeah, the memory thing.
Right.
His memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
We did know that as soon as we got here, everyone just like woke up in the school.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that we did actually all show up.
They probably showed up. We all probably showed up maybe around the same time even.
Well, it doesn't matter if we showed up at the same time or not. But like the point is that the people in this game or whatever had all met each other at the school, and whatever happened had to do with the memory manipulation, like we surmised. That also means that picture that we saw of Leon and Chihiro and Mondo was like that very well could have been from the time that Hifumi is talking about.
Yeah.
Interesting that getting banged in the head with a hammer and
kind of fitting, right?
And basically killed actually makes him remember or break past that manipulation. But again, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking he is mortally wounded. We already got the announcement.
Yeah, but he wasn't dead yet. Does that... It doesn't matter, ultimately.
The light. It's reaching out to me.
So, you were able to stick around long enough to give us a clue, huh?
Like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name.
Yeah?
Yasuhiro.
Oh no.
Hifumi. His eyes closed. And they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute, undeniable death. No matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again.
This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry.
You're just evil.
Yes.
And this is coming from me.
Going out of his way to return, just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words.
Unnecessary?
They'd already kind of, like, come to the conclusion that Kyoko had an alibi, so it must have been Yasuhiro.
That was the longest possible way to say Yasuhiro that I've ever heard. I can't say I haven't done the exact same thing.
Now this game has become exceedingly boring.
I'm so sorry that it does not live up to its entertainment value that you require.
He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagakure. That is the only person he could have been referring to.
Although, it's possible that there was more to his statement. Like maybe Yasuhiro warned me, or something along those lines.
Yeah, or I guess it's also possible that it was the 16th student whose name is Yasuhiro.
That's a possibility, yeah. And with that, the case is solved. How disappointing.
If it were something as ridiculous as that, he already said that his memory...
Yeah?
Like, that he knew...
Memory came back, yeah.
Yeah, that his memory, pre-manipulation, we talk good! Ugh! Assaulting people and even killing Kiyotaka and Hifumi. And then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Yasuhiro is?
What is this?
Thinking about it, that's a really important point. Why were the bodies moved?
Yeah.
That the key, like, that's got to be the key to this whole case. Because if we can't figure out why the bodies were moved, then there is something extremely important that we are just not going to be able to understand.
Yeah.
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill 2 of our friends.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although, this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Man, you gotta do the investigation, yo. You don't. If you get this wrong, we all die.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way at first glance. Well, it's gonna begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this. To make sure everyone survives, I just have to do it.
You know, with Makoto constantly going on about how this is real, doesn't that seem like maybe that could also lead some credence to our virtual reality sort of
Yeah, you're
thingy?
absolutely right about that. You can't miss that now in Chapter 3, this is undeniable reality. This is real, this is real. He says it all the time. It's a catchphrase.
Next to Huh.
Yeah, next to Huh and shut up from Toko. It's like the main theme of the main refrain of the game, right? So maybe that means that, just like you said, that it is in fact not undeniable, unavoidable reality.
Because, like,
the opposite.
In order for this, if it was some sort of simulation, to have any kind of real effect from a psychological aspect, the people in it have to believe that it's real.
Now, I'm not committing to any idea of it being a digital world or a simulation or anything like that, or staged, where, like, possibly nobody is dying. Like, I'm not willing to commit to any of that, just like there's some kind of chicanery.
Right.
And that's what I think that's referring to. I don't want to try and get too specific, though.
Right.
Time to check the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was indeed a blow to the head, which we were wondering if that was the case. Now, whether those hammers actually are the murder weapons or not...
Right.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't have turbo or something equipped?
I guess I'm gonna have to replace this controller. This is what everybody wants to see. The Danganronpa playthrough where we just keep having to look at the transcript. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon.
What if that means the same sized hammer?
That's what I was thinking. Like a blunt instrument.
That's why the body was moved. Yeah, okay, I was just checking.
Yeah?
There's still 4 hammers missing. No, there are 5 hammers missing.
Yep.
There is another hammer that is missing. But there were 4 before, right?
Hold on. That one on the bottom is 1.
There's 2 beneath the bigger one. Because it's the biggest size.
Okay.
And then there's the 2 in between the big one and the 2 on the top right.
Okay. So that's going to be our actual weapon, and that's going to have something to do with why they were moved.
And it's probably not painted up, I'd bet.
Yeah, I bet you're right. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before.
And do you know why we got way less information? Because it actually said that it is thought they were killed with a similar weapon. That is Monokuma giving us a clue he did not have to give us.
That's correct.
Why did he do that?
I know, he's always helping us out. If he wasn't such a bastard.
Well, that's no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened in the Monokuma file could, anyway.
Maybe. There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while.
What has she been doing? Are you talking about Kyoko?
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice?
And we've been thinking about this the whole time.
But we just can't think of any way unless the person was suicidal.
Yeah. If the person is suicidal, then it would make sense to be an accomplice. But
yeah.
the problem is it's just a death sentence unless you have some sort of special dispensation, which isn't impossible.
Right.
An accomplice?
An accomplice?
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm everywhere! Don't be rude! I'm here to answer your question.
You know, I'm starting to like Celeste a lot more recently, suspicious as she is. That must mean something horrible is going to happen.
Right?
And she's going to be the killer this time, or something like that. Question? You mean about the accomplice? Why am I surprised about... Huh? Shut up!
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So maybe the accomplice helped the murderer with the sole intent of killing the murderer, from personal reasons, maybe. Maybe.
Oh, hold on. Did you say maybe the accomplice helped the murderer for the sole reason of killing the murderer?
Yes. Like for their own personal reasons, to make sure the murderer dies.
If that were the case, then wouldn't all the accomplice have to do to allow that, or to ensure that that happens, is say, by the way, here's what happens. I helped, but this is the person who was the killer. Why would they not do that then?
Well, the trial hasn't started yet. Maybe they will at the trial. That's a good point.
I mean, I could see that happening, but that's just yet another reason that an accomplice is a terrible idea in this, because...
Unless the accomplice helped the murderer, and the murderer betrayed the accomplice and killed them.
Right, but what would the accomplice have been helping the murderer in the first place for?
Maybe if the murderer promised the accomplice where alter ego was.
Death for alter ego?
You saw how they were both kind of psychotically attached to alter ego. Maybe, I'm just saying, maybe.
I could buy that for Kiyotaka, who had completely lost his mind and couldn't... He was not functioning properly.
Right.
Hifumi was still functioning like normal, though.
I'm just saying, maybe.
I mean, no, that's possible. The thing I'm interested in is each murder is allowed to have an accomplice.
Yeah.
What does that mean? So a murder can't have two accomplices. That's not allowed, but it can have one. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But why? What would the advantage be?
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
I mean, like you said, if there were a personal reason for doing it, that would be believable, but...
Well, maybe they were going to try and pin... Maybe Yasuhiro's fine. Maybe he's just locked up somewhere, tied up and stuffed in a locker, so that they can blame Well, no, that doesn't... No, actually, that doesn't make any sense either. That would help neither of them. Never mind.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words...
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
So then...
So you're saying nobody worked together this time, either?
Now, last time, he just said, no, that didn't happen because he wanted us to stop thinking along those lines.
Yeah.
But is he going to say that right here?
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys, so obviously it's true. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder, only one blackened can graduate. An accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words...
Then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal?
Well...
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is...
Extreme!
The one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action!
So he is completely confirming that there was an accomplice in
basically.
this.
It's possible Hifumi did crack, and we just didn't see it.
Or it could have something to do with the 16th student.
Maybe.
The true blackened. So just one person. Which is kind of telling us also that it's not Yasuhiro.
Yeah. That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the Blackened. Good luck to all the contestants.
Okay, so Monokuma just showed up, gave us a huge hint in the Monokuma file, and then showed up and then gave us a huge hint in terms of clarifying this.
Uh-huh.
A long time ago, we had assumed that, or not assumed, but presumed that Monokuma's goal was not to get us to kill each other,
Yeah.
but was to do something else.
Yeah. This just seems to reinforce that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of any other reason that he would always help us out like this.
I mean,
Sometimes
make the show more interesting.
Sure, and some of the times he would definitely want to do it just to clarify stuff, to keep it moving in the fair way that he's devised, whatever that thing is. It could just be as simple as you said, that it is just about making sure that it's interesting.
Right.
So there can be only one Blackened. An accomplice wouldn't benefit. Then I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all.
You may be right.
If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
Yeah.
We don't need to track down any of the other missing people at all.
Well, in terms of what's at hand, she really doesn't. But after that, then we darn well need to figure out what the heck is going on.
Right.
But we do only have a limited amount of time. It's until Monokuma decides we have enough to be able to correctly identify the killer.
Well, once the trial begins, he'll drag them in from wherever they are.
That's true, he will. I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible.
Whereas we are full of doubt about you.
But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone a suspect, just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack.
What? I'm offended! You... When did you... I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Oh, God, kill me. Anyway, you there, milk sack swimmer girl.
Milk sack?
you gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer. I completely didn't understand anything that happened involving your appearance in the last trial.
So what? I'm like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know.
It's just like Byakuya. I mean, I already swore that I'd suspect Byakuya every time.
Yeah. She's unfortunately very right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Kiyotaka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
I'm glad that they brought this up.
Right?
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. I'll put on like some mustache or something. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
See.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again. We don't even know why it happened in the first place.
I guess we could lock the door.
Isn't it interesting that Celeste is the person bringing up posting a guard?
Of course.
Considering
Of course.
all the,
Yeah.
not pointed avoiding of guarding people before.
Uh-huh.
Of course, you can also say she's learning from experience, but glare, suspect.
Well, either her or
suspect.
Byakuya have a key because they locked the door before.
That may be something that we don't need to worry about.
Okay.
Like it could have just been something to get us to move around. I mean, remember, Sakura and Asahina were in that room too.
True.
So then,
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina?
Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
Without a door to knock on, I just don't know what to do.
She's really too hard on herself like that.
Yeah.
I mean, she's an airhead, but
Yeah, then that's that. Let's begin.
I mean, she just really beats herself up.
She's been doing that this entire episode.
Chapter.
Chapter.
This whole thing is really freaking strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? Celeste. But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems.
It's never been as straightforward as it seems, except for the first one.
I guess it still could. It wouldn't it be interesting if it really is Yasuhiro and
that would be
Celeste,
so weird.
And Celeste was the accomplice?
Yeah.
Well, let's start with talkies.
Let's check out the bust by the busts.
Hey, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Ah! What is it?
I like how you're becoming all Brooklyn with it.
Yeah, next up I'll be like, Yeah, maybe I'll do the Tim Allen thing. I don't know. I refuse to just go, huh? Maybe I should be like, or Nani? Nanto! Or something. I don't know. After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together. And we came right to the repository to, look around. But when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside.
We know.
Okay, so I guess it is going to actually be relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I came in here, tried to open the door, and we tried to convince Sakura to break the door down. And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? My god, it actually is exactly like you said.
Yes!
Either Byakuya or Celeste must have had a key.
Or there's something else going on.
Or they climbed through like an air vent and popped into the room and opened it from the other side.
Celeste lockpicked it. Yeah.
I mean, that's believable, but they would have had to do it right in front of Aoi and Sakura.
Right.
Yes, that is a good question. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open, and it was Celeste and Byakuya that reported this to us. There might be some secret lurking in there, but I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out.
There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest.
Yeah, I hope we get extra time for Monokuma.
Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
We do that quite extensively.
We look so Ha!
Yes. Let's summarize everything to make sure there's not some vital thing that we're missing, that we forgot, or that we misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go through this. We don't know if we're going to subject you guys to it or not.
We'll just see how it turns out.
If there's an epiphany, though, we'll jump right in.
Well, that was useful for us, but we didn't make you guys sit through it.
Last bit of talkie before we get to the investigating.
Do you want me to refresh the... Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Byakuya. Do you think Hiro really did it?
I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. Did you see how I completely evaded your question?
Jumping to conclusions... Evading the question?
When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died...
Yeah, he said Yasuhiro's name.
In other words...
Then there is no room to suspect anyone else.
Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume?
Are you kidding? You could see that hair a mile away.
But everybody else has an alibi, so it doesn't matter if he was hidden or not.
That's true. Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. He's a little foolish at times.
At times, and then at times he's really sharp. I mean, I could believe that, but why all the justice hammers, and why the costume, and why the elaborate setup?
Right?
If he was just gonna run around and hit people with a hammer...
Because he's the fool of the century, you see.
He's sharper than you're giving him credit for, but then sometimes...
I don't give anyone any credit.
Point taken. I mean, he is kind of dumb, but do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case?
Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? Why did Hifumi's body disappear from the infirmary?
They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation.
I mean, I guess that would work if our opponent was really bad at this. I mean, to be fair, it's not like anybody has had a chance to practice murder, except, for the person who has had a chance to practice murder.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? I mean, there was a door that was locked for some reason, and the bodies were behind it. And how'd you get in here again?
Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron.
Just don't want to jump to conclusions, because if we do it wrong, we all die. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing 2 people?
What?
Because all the rule says is, if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate, right? So, if you're the killer, your number one priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out. This is something we actually hadn't thought about. I mean, even though this is the obvious thing that jumps right out, we were busy thinking about other stuff.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out that maybe one of them wasn't actually dead. Which, I guess was the case, but...
Maybe?
It had to have been something personal, and is it really a coincidence that it was the 2 people that...
We're fighting over alter ego, kind of?
Could it have been alter ego?
Are you trying to say that alter ego picked up a mallet and whapped them?
I'm trying to say that
Donkey Kong.exe or something?
Yeah, see, alter ego took control of a special robot.
Oh my god!
Okay, that
Those people just really creep me out.
That came from the physics lab, and in order for alter ego's self-defense against some kind of strange molestation, killed them with the justice hammers.
I can kind of believe that in this game. That sounds like something that's plausible, doesn't it?
I mean, sadly, yes. I don't actually expect that that's the case, but if it is, we had discussed the possibility, yes.
You heard it here first, folks.
Well, I mean, it would have to either be 2 killers or something personal.
Yeah.
I see.
Hold on. Perhaps.
Yes! We've solved the mystery of why I keep skipping text somehow.
Well, you solved it. You didn't tell me.
Well, yeah, I wanted to wait for the dramatic reveal.
Oh, excellent.
Okay, so we are actually using... we're playing this game on PC. We're using an Xbox controller.
Uh-huh.
And at the same time, what I'm doing in my spare time right now is playing an old PlayStation Super Robot Wars game.
Where you used to...
And the confirm button
Oh!
in this game skips text.
I see!
So I'm just moving on with the text in a visual novelty atmosphere by hitting this button right here, right? And then I keep skipping stuff.
I see.
So I'm a flaming idiot.
Good, now that that's established. I see. So that's what that means.
Please, even you agree, Byakuya? Is everything okay?
I'm not telling. Don't talk to me as if we're friends.
I am not your friend. I don't think for a moment that we are friends. You have constantly threatened to kill me, you asshole! What? Byakuya!
You're acting so Byakuya. But you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all.
Great. Well, his mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository.
He's going to try and one-up us during the trial.
Yeah. He talked as if he'd figured something out. But if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was?
Actually, my father implanted a device in my chest that injects strychnine into my body if I'm ever charitable or altruistic.
So he becomes paralyzed if he does something nice? That's some weird training. Alright, dolly. It's a dolly. Doesn't have a handle. And I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around.
Or corpses, you frickin'...
It's kind of awkward, but if you bend down, it's not too hard to use. Hey, wait a minute. Thank you, Makoto.
Thank you, please.
Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel.
Well, well, well.
There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. I wonder why. Well, I mean, that's fine.
I know. Still.
Hammers of all different sizes. Some are more like mallets. My God, it's the Justice Hammers! Could they have been designed using these as a model?
Christ!
Now, either way, all the hammers here have obviously seen a lot of use. I'm still not so sure that there's 2 under the big one, though.
Yeah, there might not be.
There's either
now
4,
that I'm looking at it closer.
I mean, it looks like there's just 4 hammers missing.
Yeah.
Though I guess it's possible there could be a 5th one. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder because, you know,
they're used for sculpting, yeah.
Used for sculpting.
Yes.
Right. For some reason, this one hammer isn't dirty at all. There were 5 hammers.
Yep, but they put it back after they cleaned it.
And it's wet. Did someone wash it recently?
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
You know what really gets me? Is all the blood.
Yeah.
I mean, at least Kiyotaka's on a tarp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like there's something you can do about it, but it just makes it a lot more stark,
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, even as we're actually just sort of accepting the reality of all of it,
Right?
it's not nearly as shocking. Though we're not any happier about
We're
it.
becoming desensitized by playing video games. The media was correct!
Hifumi's big cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body.
Why,
which is-
thank you for pointing that out, Makoto. That's a really important clue.
Yes. Yes, it is. How on earth was the killer able to move someone so big from the nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository?
It wasn't the dolly because the dolly can't go upstairs.
Yeah.
So he had to have gotten up and walked away.
And then there was the fact that Robo Justice dragged him from the rec room on the 3rd floor to the library in the 2nd floor, hit him on the head once. Then we took him to the nurse's office.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Hifumi's just been,
Poor guy.
like, he's been dragged all over what's currently available.
Mm-hmm.
All the way from the 1st floor to the 3rd, and all without anyone noticing it.
That's the big thing.
He really was mortally wounded. So, even if he did just, like, get up and walk on his own...
Why did he come here? If he was actually seriously injured in the nurse's office, and not just faking for whatever reason, then why did he get up and come all the way up here?
Yeah, and also with the without anybody noticing thing.
Right.
I mean, are we looking at a whole bunch of, like, secret tunnels that Kyoko has found?
Right?
How the hell? That's no good. Without further investigation, I just don't get it. I can think about it later, though. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from Justice Hammer 3.
No.
It was Justice Hammer 5,
I guess, technically.
which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Wait. Something's off about his body.
He's actually a girl! I'm sorry, what? Oh god, it all makes sense!
Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now.
Oh!
That's it. His glasses. See, we were probably
Yeah.
both like, what is it? What did we
Please
not
flash
notice?
back, yeah.
What is it? Man, go Makoto, noticing
Right?
something. That's awesome! You actually really helped us out, buddy! When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood.
But now they're not.
But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? And why? And that just lends more credence to it being Hifumi.
Yeah.
Just
He wouldn't be able to walk around with blood on his glasses.
So Hifumi may have been. It very
we need
well
to
could be.
investigate the nurse's office and see if there's any blood in the sink.
It could be, yes. It could be, yes. Okay, so it could be exactly like you said, that Hifumi was...
faked his attack.
Hifumi was the accomplice, and then was betrayed.
Yeah.
Still suspecting Celeste. Can't imagine it's Yasuhiro since everybody else is trying to say it's so obvious. Because, I mean, it is obvious. It's really easy to pin this on him because everyone else has an alibi but him. Who would do that and why? And I think that's even exactly what we said when we started trying to analyze that.
Well, let's take a look at Kiyotaka.
I guess upon death, he de-transformed and his Super Saiyan hair reverted.
Well, he's finally hanging out with Mondo again.
Kiyotaka. He'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room, but is that really what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved.
But there was! In fact, there were wheel marks there, so obviously we need to go there and notice that.
Yeah. And why? Why were the bodies moved?
Well, if the killer did betray the accomplice, then she, maybe, would want him somewhere there isn't... Oh!
What? Wait, what did we miss? This is just transcript the episode, isn't it? Okay. There is only one way in and out of this room, through the door that Hina said was locked before. There's definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository.
Okay, so Hifumi must have locked it to keep anyone from coming out.
And then died?
Huh.
And then how did somebody get in? I believe that I could buy that Celeste picked the lock or something like that, but...
I
mean, no, it's possible that Hifumi did walk up, like stand up, dazed because he's mortally injured, wipes off his glasses, walks up here, walks in the room, locks the door, falls over, and dies.
What I was going to say before we got interrupted by this is that what if the killer told Hifumi to drag Kiyotaka here as part of the plan, and he just... Oh God, Damon. Who has Hifumi gotten used to listening to?
Celeste.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that had not, I mean, we had been assuming it, like what did I just say,
Yeah,
with
that way
being
Celeste can have a weapon here that matches all the other hammers to kill him with, clean it up, and put it back. So she told him to bring the body here, and he just followed along blindly because that's his kink.
Okay, no, that actually makes a lot of sense.
We're on to you, Celeste!
That makes a lot of sense. That would explain why the bodies had to be moved.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason was so that Celeste could actually...
But how would she have gotten in there to kill him?
Yeah, there's still some other...
There is still a discrepancy with the whole it still being locked when Sakura and Hina showed up.
But Celeste knew how to get past a lock, knew another way in the room. Remember, she's the person who got them in here in the first place.
Okay, that's a good point. Good, yeah,
As soon as we left this room, it was actually this room. As soon as we left it, we bumped into Celeste and Byakuya, who said, we got into the room you just walked away from.
Okay.
I don't know when they did that with these mysterious ninja placement skills. I don't see any way to lock it from in the art room.
So it's definitely not a key.
The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder where's the secret door.
Under the tarp!
And I did it again, too. I hit the button. I'm so pathetic! Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies. And the door is designed so that it can only be locked from inside the repository. In other words... how can it be under the tarp, though? We've been here before.
Well, this is also where we found that mysterious letter or picture floating down. So maybe there's something in the roof.
It is, yeah. No, there's definitely a secret door or secret passage or something. And that further makes sense for the theory that it was Celeste because she's the one who got him into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, when he'd checked it, someone had already gone in the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left. Which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository.
Unless they came in through a secret door.
So that certain someone...
Look up.
There's got to be a clue around here somewhere. Right, the nurse's office, the equipment room.
Okay, light fixtures. Nothing suspicious going on up there. Nothing you can interact with in any case.
Maybe it's this monitor!
Oh! Alright, it might be something that comes out later.
There's no way we could find it now.
Right.
But it has to be.
It has to be something like that.
Like a secret door.
Look at the... Yeah. Alright, so check if there's anything strange on the wall here. I mean, nothing really stands out. Look at the floor. Maybe the floor design? No?
It's worth a look.
Wait! Wait! No, those windows don't have bars on them, but they only lead into the art room. They don't lead into the repository.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Okay.
The same thing.
All right, we just gotta be thorough. Yeah.
Have we seen these windows any other place? Okay,
I
like
don't
here,
think
for
we have.
instance.
Oh,
Where do these windows go?
that's a good question.
Because
it might just lead to another one of those like treat areas, but not here.
Treat areas?
Like in the first floor near the dorms, where it's just trees and grass in an enclosed place.
Where's the windows?
Right over there behind the curtains, I imagine. Like, look up and left, there's curtains over there. I assume.
Why are there windows there then?
I don't know. It might just be something we don't need to focus on.
No, it's something we don't need to focus on, but still. Why is this machine on now?
Wasn't it on before?
Maybe, but I don't remember hearing this noise.
You're right.
I mean,
this is where all the vents are.
Oh, there really is going to be a vent. What if you climb up there? Is that like a hole in the ceiling?
I'm not sure. It kind of looks like a hole in the ceiling. We'll check it. Now
that it seems like it's making these noises, maybe it really is an air purification device. I was hoping you could use it to draw in a robot from another dimension. But I guess not.
Well, he didn't seem to notice anything strange about it.
Maybe it's always been making this noise.
We're just so paranoid.
It's not paranoia if it's true. Justice Hammer 4, the weapon that was supposedly used to kill Kiyotaka. The body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here, and still no blood. Tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently too.
Think. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event.
So you just came back here to do...
Or lick at the blood or something.
Maybe she did come to lick at the blood. Maybe she's doing her part?
This tastes like AB negative.
Okay, for some reason that I can't understand, even after everything, there's some weird type of... How do you pronounce that? T-ray mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. Something about a dolly. There was blood on its thigh.
Thank you.
I mean, I get that if you hadn't come here first, you would know this and be like, hey, I should go look at that dolly or something, and noticing stuff in the right order. But still, it's nice when the character actually acknowledges the stuff that he's found. So, maybe that blood came from the dolly. Which could mean that Kiyotaka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, thank you so much, Makoto. What about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the first floor.
And weighs half a ton.
Even with maybe a quarter of a ton, but probably not quite that much. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get it up to the third floor.
Right?
That's still a total mystery, except that these guys have probably figured it out that he just stood up and walked off. Okay, so obviously there's going to be some more after this, because we just don't have enough. We still have to discover that secret passage, for instance. Okay, so who's missing right now?
Kyoko and Yasuhiro.
Now, what happened the other day with Kyoko?
With Alter Ego?
Well, you remember how there was a letter that was stuffed under Makoto's door?
Yeah, Kyoko told Yasuhiro to stick the letter under there. And then to have you to drag you to the bath.
Maybe whatever it is that Kyoko is doing, she found Yasuhiro and just drug him along to help her out?
Possibly. That's true.
Because they've already established something of a working relationship. That's incredibly shallow isn't the right word, but
I know what you're saying.
I don't think that there's like a lot of weight to that, but it's conceivable. We're currently, based on what we currently know, we suspect that Celeste is the killer and that Hifumi was her accomplice, just based on a personal relationship.
Yeah.
So, that's something to think about.
Plus other reasons.
So what are you investigating, Celeste?
I'm here licking the bloodstain. What?
A negative? I am not investigating anything, precisely speaking.
Of course not.
I am simply going around seeing if Yasuhiro might be hiding somewhere.
Really?
What about you? Oh, I'm just checking this and that so I can smoke the trial like I've always been doing.
So even though before she was showing apprehension and fear at the assailant, now she's just brazenly walking around by herself looking for him.
Well,
I might be reading too much into that.
Well, at this point, if he kills somebody else, then...
That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
But no, I agree with you that there's some acting going on. To some degree.
Yeah.
The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
So I'm going to talk to you about all the holes I've seen in this plot so far.
Do you know anything about any of these strange mysteries?
Why are you whistling?
How Hifumi was moved, huh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office,
Yes,
right?
Indeed.
Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone. We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though.
Maybe it was longer, but that's what she told Hina. And because Hina's kind of an airhead.
She certainly wasn't thinking straight, that's
right.
for sure. Although, again, I think a person's ability to notice their surroundings has nothing to do with them being quote-unquote smart or quote-unquote dumb. I don't think that's a fair way to look at things.
Fair.
Just saying that all things that are smart are good and all things that are dumb are bad.
That's fair.
That's important. Again, about Celeste. She has taken charge and been in a leading role throughout all of these events.
Right.
Telling people where to go, volunteering to stay here, that's so she could be in the right place and have control over the events, right?
Right.
That is a plausible way to look at it. Maybe is indeed what happened. Because if it's not Celeste, then it would have to be Yasuhiro, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody else has had any suspicious movements.
That's true, yeah.
Whereas from the beginning, we've had, problems with Celeste's account of things. She even made sure that she would get attacked, though admittedly with a fairly small hammer.
Right?
If that's the case. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Justice Hammer 3. The one that supposedly was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body, but left the weapon behind, and sure enough, not really looking too much at this stuff.
Kind of seems relevant though. Check that trash can.
Oh yeah. Well now.
I bet we'll find a bloody pair of glasses there.
Just a normal trash can. My God, there's something inside! It's garbage.
Oh!
Too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth.
Close enough!
With, Buko.
Yeah,
Princess Piggles. And it's got some kind of anime character on it. Oh, but it's also covered in blood. Oh, what a waste! This has nothing to do with anything. I'll just ignore this.
Oh.
Oh, did you find something? Damn it. Yeah, there's like a microfiber cloth in the trash can? Huh? A cleaning cloth?
I told him to eat it.
I thought I got everything. What was that? Anyway, it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood.
It's a mystery. Oh man, you found my handkerchief. Sweet.
Does anybody even have glasses other than Hifumi? No!
Toko.
That's it. Toko totally has the Princess Piggles microfiber cloth.
Of course.
It was Toko the whole time. Not Genocide Jill, Toko.
Toko, yeah.
No. Who would need to do
We
something
were praising you earlier, Makoto!
like this? I haven't the slightest idea. Give me that. I wish to throw it away and burn it. Yeah, me either, but I think it might be important.
So I'll just stuff this bloody cleaning cloth in my pocket.
A refrigerator. You know, now looks like a great time for a cold one. After everything I've been through, I am totally parched.
Well, there is technically alcohol in there, I'm sure.
Maybe just a quick peek. Oh, there's a bunch of blood packets in here. For blood transfusions, I guess.
Excuse me? Who's going to administer them?
That's what I was thinking. Well, it's there if somebody figures out how to do it. Of course,
That's not the kind of thing you can just learn on your own.
No, if somebody already knew.
Oh, that's fair.
But, well, I guess you probably could learn how to do it on your own.
Unless Kyoko's the ultimate vampire.
Or the ultimate nurse.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, no, in all seriousness, of course, this is so Hifumi could lay there all covered in blood.
You're right!
Yeah.
Duh, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, we had made a joke about a paper mache body, but really it was the blood packet in the nurse's room. And that's why he had that time to get some attention. Like, I have to draw attention. Hyug!
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah?
I wonder if there was something to that bit when Celeste was trying to figure out how to scream.
Maybe!
Like, she didn't want it to be too similar to the prearranged clues that were used with Hifumi. Because Hifumi's scream was a prearranged thing. Huh?
Didn't she scream first to tell him that someone was upstairs? And then Hifumi screamed?
Yeah.
You're right.
Oh.
We're just learning it all, ain't we?
Well, that's everything.
So this is where you were. I've been looking for you.
What'd you find? Because we aren't quite there yet in terms of evidence. Really? You've been looking for me?
Yes, don't ever make me say that again. I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed.
Did you tamper with more evidence so you can throw me off again?
Maybe. You should go to Yasuhiro's room. Oh, and let me give you this.
What were we just talking about?
Yep.
This is a note Hito wrote to get us all to meet up, right?
That's a different font. That's a different handwriting.
Yeah, that's not the same handwriting, all right.
You remember well.
Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression. Well, okay, I guess that was the same handwriting. It's been a while since we've seen it, and I mean, they're talking about it being so memorable.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap.
What is?
Things grow ever more exciting.
What are you talking about?
I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation. Bye.
He said to go to Yasuhito's room, but what on earth is going to be there?
Probably me. I mean, what? You know, if I had to guess.
This episode has definitely had not nearly enough Yasuhito.
That's why I'm trying, damn it!
The door's unlocked, huh? That makes sense, considering what Byakuya told me to do.
Yeah.
Guess I'll go in. Byakuya did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge.
Oh, God.
Gotta find everything that... He's got a lot of stuff in here. He brought a lot, didn't he?
Right? Look at all those books.
Well, this is Yasuhito's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here, and why is the camera blinking?
I was wondering about that myself. That is the weird stuff.
That's clearly a graphical glitch. Huh.
I'm reading.
Where do you even get all this? More importantly, where the hell is he? Well, he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right?
But... yeah. There's boxes at the foot of his bed. Like, freshly delivered boxes.
What is up with this glitchy camera? Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a bed. I'm amazed that it is a bed. I'll look at those extremely suspicious boxes momentarily. Okay, nothing in the bathroom. His door opens. And it's already dirty? How does a bathroom even get this dirty after like a week? Alright, well we can't look at anything else, which is sort of sad.
Right?
I like that giant dice.
Oh, yeah.
Well. I think there's something in this cardboard box. It's blueprints for something? And some things made out of cardboard, plastic, and plaster.
No way!
So where's Yasuhito then?
This seems so like such a plant, especially since Byakuya told us. He's messed with junk before.
Well, what if... I mean, this does seem like a plant, right? But what if Yasuhito was already also an accomplice?
Maybe, but what purpose?
I mean, no, I think we were right.
He could just be a secret cosplayer, and the killer found out about it somehow and just used that.
I think that we were probably right in the first place, where the picture with Hifumi and the only time we've seen Robo Justice
was staged,
and there was never anybody in there,
or
the person in there was, well, I mean, I guess it couldn't have been Celeste, because who would have taken the picture?
Right. Well, who said there had to be anyone in there? Could just be a statue.
Yeah.
Plaster statue, yeah.
So this is Robo Justice, huh? And it's in Hito's room. But where's Yasuhito?
Yeah.
After all, the goal of a blackened is to get away
with this. Yeah.
To get away with it.
He's not that dumb.
So what you would try to do is pin it on somebody else.
Yeah.
Wait. These blueprints...
Handwriting's different. Look how messy that handwriting is.
I mean, that's got to be Hifumi. Hifumi's the only person who could design something like this.
Uh-huh.
I also guess we get to see the size of it.
Yeah.
just like I was concerned about. Like, so it really was a foreground, background thing, so it's not any bigger. And so Yasuhiro conceivably could have worn it, but there's a matter of his hair.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna have to consider Hifumi's size and Yasuhiro's hair for this.
Right. But most importantly, look at the handwriting on the plans.
Yeah, I know!
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You already said that! Something about this bothers me.
Also, how did Hifumi know what it was called?
Yeah, Hifumi is like, well, that's what I decided to call it. However, Hifumi naming a robot isn't unusual.
Yeah, but him getting the same guess as what it's actually called? I don't know.
No. Hifumi designed it. Hifumi
Right,
made it.
I was talking about from the other perspective. If Yasuhiro actually was the one who made it, how did Hifumi guess the name of the robot? Is what I was trying to get at.
Meant. Yeah, no, because there's no way that it's Yasuhiro. I wouldn't even be surprised if Byakuya straight up carried this thing in here.
Yeah. Like I said, we can't trust any evidence we get from Byakuya.
Makoto, big news, big news!
I found the donuts. What?
We found Kyoko. And still not Yasuhiro. Where the heck could he be?
It's possible maybe they did something to him.
And if he's gone, wouldn't that make it, and couldn't defend himself? Doesn't that make it that much easier to pin it on him?
Yeah?
Kyoko, huh? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Robo Justice showed up too.
What?
Robo Justice? It's Yasuhiro wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor.
We knew we should have checked that locker!
To think Yasuhiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. It has to have been from the locker.
Yeah.
There's a locker in the... Well, there's not a locker in the library, but there's a locker in the rec room and a locker here in the pool.
Well, there's a side room in the library where all the records are.
Yeah, but there's no locker in there.
Well, that's true.
So he can't use it as a tunnel or something.
Oh, that's what you meant, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what we were thinking the lockers were.
Right.
Okay, so I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could.
Oh, wait for me!
I'm still wondering if, like, Yasuhiro's hair is actually detachable.
I bet they found him unconscious in the suit.
Somebody is going to be in that stinking locker somewhere. I bet Kyoko found him. Kyoko.
I mean...
And...
Phew, man, I've had the worst day.
And Robo Justice! That is a pretty nicely designed robot suit. It could definitely be better, and the head really needs work because it doesn't need to have that red block thing on it. And plus, it's one of those, like, human mouth, human nose robots, which I've always thought was, like, kind of strange. But, I mean, it works. I guess it balances it pretty well. It's hard to not miss the Gundam coloration on the abdomen.
Uh-huh.
You know, this is really the only time that it's got it. Well, it has the same type of arm joints and... Yeah.
David, please.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. But, like robots.
I know.
Yasuhiro! Where is your hair?
It is not comfortable in here, let me tell you.